wild dreams about running your mouth to the cops. I went up the block and slippery socks. I fuck up the
Ruby. She's tired. It's past her bedtime. All right, what's up, guys? It's good to see you again. We're back with another video, but this video is a little bit different, okay? It's a video that I've been putting off making. I don't know why I've been putting off making it. I just haven't really gotten around to it, but it's been highly requested throughout the past. A lot of people have asked me to make it in the past, so I'm going to break down like my Marine Corps experience. I hope that you guys get something out of this. I'll try to make it as interesting as possible, but I've had quite a few people ask me to make this video like throughout my time on YouTube, so I'm gonna break it down like I was saying. I'll give you like a brief overview of my 5 years that I spent in the Marine Corps, some key points, some funny stories, and then I'm gonna give you like, and then after we get through like the brief overview of my time that I spent in the Marine Corps, I'm gonna give you like everything else, like my thoughts on it. All right, so let's get into it. But before we get into all that, like I plugged in my last video, Young LA, massive Black Friday sale, November 23rd, 12 p.m. PST. This is some of the items that are coming from the drop. Got some new mesh shorts. Forgot what they called this sweatshirt, but this is probably one of my favorite sweatshirts Young LA's ever put out. Keep that. All right. November 23rd, code Big Dog for the win, all right? I love you guys. Everyone using my code, thank you. I appreciate that. Do not forget it. It's a big fucking deal. Back in 1775, my Marine Corps came alive. Are we going? Is it good?
No.
Check.
Yeah.
Okay. My Marine Corps experience from start to finish. We're gonna have to start a little bit before boot camp, just like a little backstory, okay? So I graduated high school like 2012, 2013. 2013 actually, yeah. And then I didn't leave for boot camp until February of 2014. So I graduated 2013, like what, May, June, that's when you graduate high school. And then I was just working until I left. What working meant is back then, I think I worked at like this Hispanic restaurant, and I was a busboy, and I worked like 4 days a week for 4 hours a day, and I thought that I was like working hard, getting money, getting ready to go to the Marine Corps, whatever. It was a good time. During that time period, I was really close with two individuals. They were like my best friends at the time. I'm not gonna go and say their names for this video. It doesn't really matter anyways. They were good friends, had a lot of fun with them, but definitely was getting into like trouble with them. I wasn't like doing anything that was gonna get me sent behind bars, you know, but like we definitely like causing mischief. I come from a smaller town, originally up in Washington, and I was just in a situation where like I knew I didn't want to go to college because I hated school. I still dislike school to this day. That's why I never went. And I didn't want to stay in my hometown because it was just a small hometown. I feel like a lot of the people that just kind of hung around there, like, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. I needed to get out. I knew that. So me and my those two other friends that I was tight with, we all enlisted in the Marine Corps together, right? Long story short, they didn't end up going for personal reasons. They decided it wasn't for them. So then it kind of just left me there like, well, fuck, am I gonna go still? Like my two best friends aren't going, like what the fuck? I don't know, I was really like back and forth on it the whole time. And I think I told my dad at one point, I was like, dude, I don't think I'm gonna go. And my dad knew it was probably the best decision for me. So he got pissed and was like, all right, you're gonna get kicked out and you're gonna go pay your own rent. I was like, all right, fuck, whatever. Like, I ended up wanting to go. I think I knew deep down that change was something that I needed, a big change, because like I said, like I was getting into trouble. I was just a punk ass kid. I didn't have a lot of direction at that time. I think I was 17, you know? So I ended up sticking it out, and I had fun until January of 2014. You know, I got to spend my holidays with my family or whatnot. And then January rolls around and I was like, well, fuck, now it's time for me to go to boot camp, right? Now this is when the story gets kind of funny. I haven't really told a lot of people this. It's funny that I'm going to be putting it out on YouTube, but it ended up being a big blessing in disguise, and I'll explain it later. But there's this thing in boot camp called the moment of truth. It's like a week after you get to boot camp, you're like low on sleep. You're like in shock because everything's so different. You don't sleep that much when you're in boot camp for the first week. I think like you sleep like 4 hours a night for the first fucking week. I don't know. I don't remember. But you're really like tired, right? So originally I had a contract to be security forces, which what security forces is it's infantry. Like I wanted to be an infantry marine, you know, I wanted to go kick down doors and shit. At least that's what I thought I was gonna do, okay? So that was my original contract. But change of plan. As you guys know, I like to smoke weed. And back then I was smoking a lot of weed, right? And I remember like I kept putting off, like I knew I couldn't smoke when I went into the Marine Corps. So like the month before I went into the Marine Corps, I was still chiefing. And then like 30 days before I stopped. And then fast forward to a week after I was in boot camp, the moment of truth, super tired. And what they do in the moment of truth is they bring you all into this building and it's pretty intense. Like I was scared back then, I was younger. And they're like, all right, if there's anything you guys need to tell us right now, if you're gonna pop on a piss test, like you need to fucking tell us right now or else you're fucked, pretty much. I was like, fuck, dude, am I gonna piss dirty? I was like, oh, fucking, I don't know what to do, man. And so, long story short, I bitched out and I ended up like telling them, like, all right, like I smoked a lot of weed. Like I smoked like a month before we left. They're like, all right, whatever. So I was like pressed for the first month in boot camp because I had no idea what was gonna happen. And then like 30 days into boot camp, they called us aside, like a handful of people that had similar issues as me. And they're like, all right, well, you guys are still in the Marine Corps. Like we're not kicking you out, but you guys are gonna get this contract called, I forgot what it's called. What's it called? Needs of the Marine Corps. Some shit like that. Like the needs of the Marine Corps. And pretty much that means the Marine Corps is gonna send you wherever they think that you're needed. Which I was really, really like, I was kind of upset about that at first, but at the same time I was kind of happy because I was still going to be in the Marine Corps. Like I just didn't want to get kicked out, you know. That was like my only concern. So I got shafted and they made me a 1341, which was a heavy equipment mechanic. And I like, dude, I don't know shit about trucks, about vehicles, about any, like I'm a terrible mechanic, but I was like, all right, well, fuck it. I guess that's what I'm going to do. So I was pretty disgruntled about that for a while, but I got over it, and I just was like, all right, well, at least I'm still in the Marine Corps. I'm just going to make the best out of my situation. Okay, so that was the first hiccup of my Marine Corps experience, because like the first year and a half in the Marine Corps for me was kind of rough. So after that, I get sent to Missouri to go to like your schooling. After you went through boot camp, you go to like basic infantry school, and then you get sent to your individual school. And since I was going to be an HE mech, I got sent to Missouri, and it sucked. I'm not a huge fan of Missouri. Sorry if there's anyone from Missouri watching it. I didn't enjoy my time there. Everything was going smooth, it was going good, and then like 2 weeks before I was supposed to leave to hit the fleet, and that's when you actually get sent to your first unit in the Marine Corps, me and some of my buddies got in trouble for underage drinking. And you know, in the Marine Corps they like to make everything a super fucking big deal, and they're like, oh my god, like you guys are fucked, you guys are never gonna I wouldn't be surprised if you guys get kicked out for this shit, like they might just kick you out, bro. And I got NJP'd, which it's like pretty bad paperwork in the Marine Corps, if you know what that is. So before I even got to my first unit, I got NJP'd and I lost my rank, which I was just a PFC at the time. So I hit the fleet as a fucking private, like bottom of the barrel, right? And so I was pretty pissed I wasn't pissed, like I was mad at myself for it, but it was also like, bro, like it just sucked. Because then it's like I was 6 months behind everyone that I hit the fleet with, but it was my own fault, so it is what it is. So like my first 2 years in the Marine Corps, really, it was just me and the weights. Like every single chance I get, every single day after work, I was hitting the gym. I was eating big at the chow hall. Like I was really getting into the gym at that time. And I credit the Marine Corps for like giving me that opportunity to fall in love with the gym, essentially, because I loved the gym. I fell in love with it. I wanted to go all the time. I wanted to be like the best Marine I could be because I already had that chip on my shoulder. So I was just grinding the gym, and that's what really sparked me going to the gym a lot. And like I didn't miss like a week in the Marine Corps hitting the gym unless I had to for like training purposes, you know, like I was locked in, and it was cool. So that continued for like 2 years. I put on a lot of size. I picked up rank. Even though I was ranked like a little bit lower than a lot of my peers, it's like if you're big in the Marine Corps, bro, you can get away with a lot of shit. Like it was funny because people would be pissed because I don't know, like the higher ups liked me a lot because I put out, and it wasn't the worst situation in the world. All right, so fast forward 2 years in the Marine Corps. I had an opportunity to become a 1342. They like sent me to school, and what a 1342 is it's a Zodiac mechanic. You know those rubber boats that you used to see in like those old Marine Corps commercials? I was the dude that like worked on those boats. I was a terrible boat mechanic, but they sent me to boat school. I got the cert, and the only reason why I wanted to go was because boat mechs worked with reconnaissance units, which are infantry platoons, pretty much like high-speed infantry platoons, and they also worked with just normal infantry platoons. And that's what I wanted to do originally when I joined the Marine Corps, and then I got shafted. So I was like, well, fuck it. This is like my opportunity to kind of work with that community. And it was sick. I liked the fact that I was boat mech. They sent me to Hawaii for the reconnaissance team leader course. Like I got to live in Hawaii for a month and a half, and I just worked on the boats with the recon cats. That was super sick. Really good experience. So like 3 years in the Marine Corps at that point, after the reconnaissance team leader course, I had the opportunity to go on a deployment, quote unquote deployment. You guys got to understand that I was in the Marine Corps during peacetime. Like there was no conflicts going on, so I don't personally count it as a deployment. The Marine Corps called it a deployment, but if I didn't, like, I don't know, I don't count it as a deployment. We didn't see any combat, so it was like, I don't know. To me personally, it's not a deployment. But I got to link up with 3-5, which is a historic infantry battalion in the Marine Corps, 3-5 Dark Horse, and we got to go on the 31st MEU. I was the boat mechanic for them because we were a big boat platoon company, and that was probably the best experience I had in the Marine Corps. We went to Japan, we went to Australia, we did a lot of like training on the boats, on the water. I met a lot of great people during that time period. And to top all that off, that was like 3.5, 4 years in the Marine Corps. I got to become an MAI, which that's a martial arts instructor for the Marine Corps. I got a tab on my belt, and I had to go through the MAI course on Okinawa, Japan. And that was probably my favorite thing that I got to experience in the Marine Corps, because it was just such a brutal course for a month. Like, bro, we got fucking slayed. I'm talking about like, we started at 4:30 in the morning. We'd work out in the morning. We'd go to class. We'd work out at lunch. We'd go to class, and we'd get fucking slayed until like 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. And then they'd be like, all right, we'll see you at 4:30 in the morning. Like, go home. And like, we were just, it was a fun experience. It really tested me as a person. I feel like I did really well in that course. It was fun. So that was like my highlight of the Marine Corps. And then pretty much after that, it was all fucking downhill. Like the last year in the Marine Corps for me, it was like the reason why I ended up getting out of the Marine Corps. So I went back to my original platoon, or my original company battalion, which was 7th ESB, Engineer Support Battalion. And most of my friends were getting out because I had a 5-year contract, which is a year longer than most people. It's a 4. So like all my good friends were getting out. There was a bunch of new people coming in. The people that were in charge when I came back to 7th ESB, they fucking sucked. Master Sergeant Law Madrid, if you're watching this, I still fucking hate you. You were a huge reason why I got out of the Marine Corps, And you're a huge reason why I feel like the Marine Corps is getting soft is because of individuals like you. But anyways, no, it just sucked. Like, a lot changed, and I was at a point to where I needed to decide if I was going to get out or stay in. And it was a really hard decision for me because I had the opportunity to like try and go MARSOC, which if you don't know what MARSOC is, that's like it's basically the equivalence to Navy SEALs but for the Marine Corps. It's like their special ops, and like I really wanted to do that, but at the same time I was like I don't know, the Marine Corps was just getting soft, just like everything else in the world right now. It was getting soft, and I felt like my time had come, and like I was like it's not for me anymore. I don't know. I just had a lot of doubt in my mind that staying in was a good thing for me at that time. So it was a really tough decision, but I ended up getting out, and I went to school for like a year, and then I was like, I hate this. I got out in 2019. I went to school for like a year and a half. I don't know how long it was, and I hated it. And then COVID hit, and school went online, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. Like, I don't know. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I was working a pretty good job at the time. I was working like security in Seattle, and I was getting paid pretty well. So I was kind of just writing that out. And then the YouTube shit hit, and TikTok and Instagram hit, and I just started grinding that. So it's funny how that shit works out, right? All right, so that was a brief overview for like everything that went down in the Marine Corps. Very brief. A lot more happened, but there's a little backstory for me in the Marine Corps because a lot of people have asked, so I wanted to let you know. All right, now like I want to get into, because I always have a question that I get sometimes from people on the channels or on TikTok or on Instagram is, yo, big dog, this one goes out to like the kids that are thinking about joining the military. Is a lot of younger kids ask me, hey, should I join the military? Like, what do you think? And honestly, it's like, I don't like when people ask me that question, because I feel like the only person that can answer that question is the individual. Like, I can't tell you to join the Marine Corps or the Army or the Navy, or yeah, it's the right decision for you. I think that if you have a calling and you feel like, hey, this is something that I want, then like it just has to be an individual decision. You can't let anyone else sway your decision when it comes to that. It's definitely a personal decision you have to make. So if you're younger and you ever ask me like, hey, big dog, should I just send it and go to the Marine Corps? I'm going to say, I don't know. You tell me. That's 100% your decision. But I can give a little insight on some of my favorite things about the Marine Corps, some of the biggest lessons that I took away from my time being in the Marine Corps, and some of my least favorite things about the Marine Corps, stuff that I hated about it, because it was definitely a very big love-hate relationship. So my favorite things about the Marine Corps, I gotta think about this for a second because it's tough. Number one, 100%, I feel like a lot of people would say this, is like the friendships that you make in the Marine Corps or in the military, I'm assuming at all. They're different from a lot of other friendships because you have a lot of shared suffering, I feel like, and you're around those individuals so much, you really get to know them. It becomes like family. Like, bro, like I still got mad love for all the people I served with. Some of my best friends in the Marine Corps, like to this day, are from the Marine Corps. Dallas is from the Marine Corps. That's my homie. We're still friends to this day. Shout out Dallas. He's behind the camera. Mm-hmm. But definitely the friendships that you make from the Marine Corps, you can't really put a price on that to me. I'm thankful for that. Another thing that I really liked about the Marine Corps was the quality of people that you meet, because the Marine Corps makes it out to be like, oh, every single Marine is hot shit, like we got our shit together. That could not be farther from the truth, because there were what we call them were shitbags. There are tons of shitbags in the Marine Corps that just like I just like would look at them and be like, bro, why the fuck are you even here? Like, you don't work out, you don't PT, you don't like try hard at anything. I'm like, so there's definitely like a lot of lower quality individuals, I feel like, in the Marine Corps, but there's also like probably the best people I've ever met have come from the Marine Corps. Some of like the people that I look up to the most have come from military backgrounds, and I'm thankful for the people that I got to meet in there that kind of mentored me and made me grow as an individual, because I definitely did a lot of growing throughout the Marine Corps. I wasn't the same person I was when I joined and I came out, you know what I'm saying? So I think the high quality people I met is one of my favorite things about the Marine Corps. Another one of my favorite things about the Marine Corps was, and this is if you like this sort of thing, like I like being pushed hard, and I like testing my abilities, you know, and I feel like you could test your abilities by yourself pretty well, especially if you're disciplined, but there's always a limit. And the Marine Corps just put me in like physical situations that were extremely demanding, that really took a lot of mental strength to get through, almost more so than fucking physical strength, because it was like just very long, hard physical events that you wouldn't ever put yourself through unless you were in the military. And I loved those times, because like there was always times, like especially during the MAI course. I always think about the MAI course on Japan, bro. The last week was called the culminating event, and it was like, I think it was like a 17-hour day of just non-stop like grappling exercise, like getting fucked up in Japan, and fucking it was just it was like it tested your fortitude as a man, I feel like. And I don't have those situations anymore out here in La La Land and like the normal fucking 9 to 5 grind. So I definitely miss that, because those situations really helped me grow. So that's one thing I really miss. I think the biggest lesson that I took away from the Marine Corps would probably be, well, I don't think I would have ever gotten as into lifting if it wasn't for the Marine Corps, because that's like all I had to do when I was in there. That's like work and work out. And if I would have just like went to school, I highly doubt I wouldn't have, because I just wouldn't have had the time to go to the gym. I wouldn't have had the resources to eat correctly like I did. So that was a big takeaway from the Marine Corps, was the fact that like it gave me my passion for fitness. But I think the biggest lesson overall that I learned is that someone always has it worse than you. So like even when you're in bad situations, like you kind of like, it's up to you to keep your head up and to keep moving forward and look at the bright side, because there's definitely people that have a shorter end of the stick than you. And I think that's like the biggest lesson I took away from the Marine Corps, is like be thankful for what you have and keep on trucking. All right, now some of my least favorite things about serving in the military or in the Marine Corps. Number one, bro, my all-time huge reason why I got out, bro, is because when I was in the Marine Corps, or when anyone's in the Marine Corps, there's definitely going to be situations where someone is in charge of you, 100% in charge of you, your life, everything that goes on about your life, that simply is not qualified to be. Like, bro, I had some of the worst leadership put over me when I was in the Marine Corps sometimes, and just individuals. There's this one individual I think of, I'm not even gonna say his name because he's such a bum, bro, but he swore he was the shit, bro, and he was like, he just always was like getting in my shit. He was a sergeant and I was like a corporal at the time, and he swore he like had all the answers to life. He was always like trying to bestow wisdom on me, and I was like, every single time this guy talked, I was like, bro, you are such a fucking idiot. Like, how is this guy in charge of me? Like, how is this real life right now? And there's nothing you can do about it, unless you want to get in trouble in the Marine Corps. So I don't like how you weren't always in charge of your own fate in the Marine Corps. That was something that was very frustrating to me. What else did I not like about the Marine Corps?
The prettiness, all the
Oh yeah. I wasn't fond of the uniforms, bro. Like I was fine with just wearing camis. Like if I could just wear my camis all day, like I was cool. But like when we had to throw on our dress blues or our service uniforms, and we'd have inspections sometimes in the sun, it'd be like 90 degrees out. We'd be in our full uniform. Everything had to be fucking perfect. Like, bro, that's just not me. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I hated that shit. I thought it was stupid. I was like, why the fuck do we care so much about like our uniforms being perfect? Like, I didn't like that part of the Marine Corps. I got that the Marine Corps wanted you to present yourself as a professional, and that made sense to me. But at the same time, I was like, okay, aren't we a fucking like a war fighting Marine Corps fucking like devil dogs? Like, is this really what we're gonna fucking spend our time doing? So I didn't like that. What else did I not like?
The fatsos not trying to.
Fatsos. No.
Give you your lunch.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, okay, yeah. Bro, so the Marine Corps is supposed to give you 3 hot meals a day. Like that's what you're promised, especially like if you're not like deployed in combat, like, and they can get you your meals. You're supposed to get 3 hot meals a day. Bro, they were always trying to like sneakily take away our meals. Like, okay, come back at 7, get back to work. It'd be like 6:30. We'd be like sweaty, got done working out, and I'd always be like, when are we gonna eat? Like, you're not giving us any time to eat. So like, I hated when they wouldn't try and feed us. I always was like beefing with people when they try to do that, but that was small. That's like really all I can remember about shit that I didn't like about the Marine Corps. I don't know. Yeah, I could probably write a book about shit I didn't like about the Marine Corps if I really thought about it. But honestly, when you get out, I feel like if you had like a good experience in the Marine Corps, you only really remember the good shit. Like I try to only really remember the good stuff, at least. So we're gonna wrap up the video here pretty soon. I felt like this was a good opportunity to tell you guys about my military experience because I know that some of you wanted to know. So I hope that this video was mildly entertaining for you guys. You got a little insight on my time in the military. And I wanted to end it by saying, like, if I could go back, would I enlist? Like, would I still make that decision seeing how my life played out? And yeah, 100% I would, because like I said, I knew back then, like in my heart, that like going was the right decision for me. And like I said earlier, I think you need to know as an individual if it's the right decision for you. So don't be like going to outside sources, because this is your decision if you're ever going to join the military. For those people that always are asking me like, yo, should I join? Like, it's 100% your decision. So like, if you want to go, but don't put it on anyone else. And would I join in today's age? I probably not. No, I don't think so. I don't think that military service members really get the respect that a lot of them deserve. Just some of the stuff that I see go down really leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And I personally, like, this isn't an America right now in the state that we're in. Like, this isn't an America that, like, I would want to serve for. Like, I wouldn't want to. That's just plain and simple. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that's going on here at this time, and I just wouldn't feel right like serving behind something that I didn't 100% feel was the right thing to do. So hope you enjoyed the video, you guys. I appreciate you guys. I gave you a little insight on my life. I hope you appreciated it. Young LA, big drop, Black Friday, November 23rd, 12 p.m. PST. Please go pick up a beanie with code Big Dog. Just let's blow up code Big Dog. All right, I appreciate you guys. Another video will be coming out shortly. I hope you enjoyed this one. P way till the end. I love you guys.